chat. What does that do? Ooh, retouching is on. Oh, I don't need retouching. What kind of crap is that? What am I on? TikTok? Instagram? Retouching. Microphone on and off. What does this button do? Oh, a highlight. Ooh, fun. A highlight. Ooh. Oh, that's fun. What's the shopping button do? Tag products first, and then you can pin them here. Oh. Oh, like what? What can I tag? No results found. Well, isn't that funny? Hey there, Reds. Anyway, hi guys, or guy, just exhausted and in from TCT Rapid, and just decided I ended up alone tonight, which is super lame, and decided I would just pop in and say hello. No, I didn't try. I'm not the biggest fan of Orca. I don't mind it, but I don't find the profiles to be as good. I'd rather use Bamboo Studio. If I'm gonna use Orca, I go to Bamboo Studio instead. And when I tried Orca with the K2 Plus, it was not cooperating. Let's just say it was not cooperating. It's causing jamming and weird stuff like that. That didn't happen when I stopped using Orca. I don't know if maybe that's resolved itself since, but I'm just sticking with Crowded Print when it comes to my K2 and my high combo, and Bamboo Studio for my K1 and K1 Max. But now that you mention it, I haven't tried Orca or Bamboo Studio with the CFS kit. And actually I didn't have a light my eye. I didn't have a CFS for my K1 Max with the CFS kit. I had to take it from my high combo, and I didn't like that, and I told them that I'm not a big fan of taking my stuff apart and having to carry it around and reconnect it and disconnect it. It just causes all kinds of things to break and stupid shit to happen. So literally I asked for a new CFS for just the K1 Max so I could show it more without having to take it off something else, and it arrived just before TCT, and it came in, well, just before TCT it came in. So I opened it today, and I put it next to my K1 Max. I didn't hook it up yet. So I will do that next, and that will allow me to have the flexibility to play with some fun stuff like this without having to, take a CFS off something else. So we'll try. Yeah, I hated having to do that. I didn't like it. I have a K1C sitting here in a box, and it makes me sad because I really like the K1. I think the K1's fantastic. I've done so much work on my K1, but they sent me the K1C too late. Like, the hype was kind of over, and there was a lot of other stuff coming in, and I just had to, unfortunately, kind of skip the K1C. It's still sitting here, and to do like an unboxing setup will take me like a good 2 solid days. And while I wouldn't mind having that on the channel, I don't know if it's worth giving it that kind of time, but I might just skip the setup and just build it myself, throw it on a shelf so it's there and we can talk about it. But your chats keep going away. I haven't done live on this channel, but I've done hundreds of live streams through Twitch and YouTube on my gaming channel. And I use a computer and OBS and all this complicated stuff. And right now I'm just on my iPad. And the chat just kind of keeps disappearing. I basically swapped it, making my high dedicated some over. Oh yeah, yeah, I see you. I feel like the high is a bit of a waste though for a single color. I feel like it's kind of crippled that way. Even if you're not using it for color with the CFS, just having like your base colors like black, gray, white, whatever your four like most used colors are, having it available and just being able to print the black part, print a white part, print a gray part. To me, that's like my favorite part of having the AMS and CFS. And and the loading, I absolutely hate the loading and unloading a filament. So just dropping it on and off it goes. That's my favorite part about the CFS, AFS, AMS, whatever the frick it is. Yeah, I don't know. Honestly, I just spent 3 days with two high combos, and oh my god, bro, I don't know what to tell you guys, man. I abso-freaking-lutely love being there with Creality. I don't know how much more I could say it, but they're such fantastic people, and the girls that work for them are such lovely, beautiful, wonderful souls. And I just had a great time. I had a great time. I had a time of life. I missed them actually. It was really great, and I can't wait to do it again. I have a lot of. I came back with all kinds of cool stuff too. Um, Here next to me is the first ever Halo Mage Light. So this is their new Mage Light. No, what's it called? Otter Light, right? This is the Otter Light. This is the first one that. My favorite thing that I got. I shouldn't say it on camera, you guys make fun of me. My favorite thing that I got is a photo with Sabrina. Sabrina, oh my god, shh, I didn't say that. Erase it. Wipe it from your memory. I was close. Sabrina came to my house. Sabrina talked to me. I mean, I dealt with Sabrina for a long time early on. Live streams, like video calls, the whole 9 yards. So her name was on the tip of my tongue. My favorite thing that I got is a photo with Zora. Because for 3 years, I wanted to meet Zora. I wanted a picture with Zora. And I got a picture with Zora, and it's like my favorite thing that I brought home. I have piles of pictures with Zora. We hung out for 3 days, and it was just fantastic. And Dee Dee and Ray and Pan and Anna, they're just so great. But so this is the OtterBox Lite. Yeah, you want to see it? Or I mean, I noticed it's like a 3D printing channel, so I don't know, like if you guys are interested, but I could show you the Otter Light. Is there a way, guys, to keep the YouTube live chat open and have it not close like ever? So here it is. This is no, it's going away. If we're gonna do live chats on this channel, you guys think that's cool, I will be sure to get a better setup than this crap, because this is pissing me off. Hey there, Russian. Yeah, we can show you. Pull the chat up on your phone if you're. No, so if I was on my computer, I would use YouTube Studio, which is something that you use for streaming as a content creator. It's a different login, and it's really fantastic for streaming. But I'm on my iPad, and I would have like your chat would be in OBS right now on a different monitor, but I'm just on my iPad, so it's like it's like amateur hour right now. And the chat box comes up when you type and then goes away. Maybe I can fix that in settings another time. But now that you mention it, I could bring up the chat on my phone. I could do that live. There I am. That's weird, but come on. Oh, it doesn't let me view it. That's weird. You guys, what? YouTube will not let me watch my own stream on the phone. So I can bring up the chat. Ooh, maybe YouTube Studio will. Here is YouTube Studio, content, live, view all. Nope. Anyway, whatever, it's fine. So here it is. This is the Scan Outer Light. This is the box it's in. It's got a little owl for practicing. Had to really turn me up to here? Okay, as long as you can really turn me up. Hi there, William. Had a great time. I do have a DJI mic in my pocket, but I'm charging my iPad as well. We're just hanging out. This is like a professional stream. This is just, we're just chilling. Hell, I can't even figure out how to get the YouTube chat to show up. It's so annoying. I do have a secondary account. I have 6 YouTube channels. 4 of them are partnered. So I do have several of those. We could switch over to a different one. And of course I have 3D Fun down now also. Oh, there we go. That worked, but my battery is dying, so you know, I'm just really winning today. I am just really winning today. This battery is going to die very, very briefly. But that worked, so in the future I'll do that. William, I had the best time at the Crowley booth. The best time. I'd love to talk about it. So here is the Scan Otter Light. It's totally wireless now. And you can mount it to whatever you want. But it's obviously made to be mounted to this. And you're going to hook it up right here. The camera, I have a new tablet, by the way, I'm going to use for this. It has a camera in the middle. This is my iPad Pro, which unfortunately has the camera on the side. So it's so confusing. You think you're holding it in the middle, and there's nothing there. You have to come to the side because the camera is on the side, which makes absolutely no sense at all. So this is what it looks like when it's hooked up. And it has the clip here in the back, so I like when I use my DJI gimbal. I have a DJI gimbal. It was given to me. I've never ever used it. So the phone mounts right here. The phone mounts this way, guy, this way. See, the phone mounts this way, and you got wireless, and you're all good to go. And then in the back, you'll see there's some buttons here. Yeah, I'll have to check out that DJI gimbal. But I do have it. It's here in the bag. We'll take a closer look at the Scan Otter another time for sure, because Joy is going to drive me nuts if I don't. The show was fantastic. I spent the whole trip with Dee Dee and Pan and Zora and Ray, and I have a really hard time remembering names. What's the other guy's name? A couple of guys I hung out with. Victor, and I'm forgetting one guy, and it's making me mad. And we just had the coolest time. But they work so hard that it's really tough to have any casual time with them. Like, their culture is just so different. It's just like all work. Daniel is his name. We played Deal or No Deal with Daniel, and that was really cool. Thanks for help. You're welcome. I wish I took more content and more of it. Anna, I mentioned Anna. You're late to the party, but I just realized I forgot to mention the guys because I am such a huge fan of the Crowley ladies, but the guys there are so cool too. So the K2 is there, and I'll be honest with you, it was surprisingly popular. I I, who when I got to hang out with Zora and Anna and Dee Dee and Ray, and Christina, who's got time to remember the guys? Come on. Plus, I got a WeChat from Victor that says, careful, I am going to rob you tonight. So, gotta watch out for him. He's a tough one. BRB, I think I have a plug for my phone over here, which means we can hopefully keep it from dying, and we're going to be able to do a much better setup in the future. This was just for fun, just for shits and giggles, as my friend used to say. So I have an iPhone on the side, I have an iPad. The iPhone's handling the chat, and the iPad, everything else. That's kind of cool. That's kind of cool. And there is a blue. What is that? Oh. Oh, you're seeing the iPhone. How cool is that? All right, there you go. I'm back. So yes, the K2s were. This is a shit show. I should just log off. The K2s were super popular. I was super surprised, honestly, how much attention they got. I think the K2 Plus is going to be really awesome. I think the K2 Pro is going to be like the go-to K2. So they've got the K2, which is like a small A1, like K1 sized K2. And then they got the K2 Pro, which is a K1 Max size K2. And then they've got obviously the Plus, but the Max is such a beautiful size. The 300 by 300 bed. It's an easier printer to carry around. Like if you have to move it, it's a little lighter weight, and it fits a little bit more into people's average workspace. Yeah, it's still big. I think the K2 Plus is a little too much for a lot of people. And I just have a feeling that the K2 Pro is going to become like the K2 to dominate. Like this is going to be the go-to for a lot of people. I just got K1 today. It came from an S1 Plus. Just wondering. See, this is why I need to stream proper and sit at a computer, because I was talking to Kathy about that. We need to do some like screen sharing and stuff like that probably, and have some fun chats. When I load any print into the slicer, should Prime Tower be on a 3mm wall? It just came as a stock profile with that on. Oh my God, I love the S1 Plus. The S1 is like I absolutely hate the S1. My least favorite printer of all time. But the S1 Plus, for whatever reason, badass. Although I always had ABL issues with all the S1s for some reason. So I left my Prime Tower at whatever the default profile has it set at. I very rarely mess with the Prime Tower. I just tend to leave it the way it is. Sometimes I move its position, but whatever the K1's profile has the Prime Tower set to, I'll just leave it at that. When it comes to purging and priming and pooping, I notice a lot of conversation about reducing waste and whatnot, but to me, I just want it to work. And when you're doing purging and priming, I guess more is more, right? If you're thinning the walls and you're thinning the infill and you're reducing everything, your Prime Tower can get flimsier. And if your Prime Tower fails or breaks or falls over, then you're screwed. And what's the point? So I leave it be. K2 Plus is about... Yeah, the K2 Plus it's brutal. Matter of fact, like I can't even shoot any more content on it for real. Like I can take my phone or my Sony, my mirrorless Sony, go up to my workshop and do something. But to sit proper here on in my studio, on my desk, I'd have to carry it down 2 flights of stairs, and it's not happening. it sat on my floor for like well over a month, maybe 2 months, without ever being turned on after I shot my initial series on it because I just couldn't bring myself to carry it upstairs. I finally did it, and that's that. So I told them, you might want to get me a K2 Pro as soon as possible. I mean, if I have to choose between the K2 and K2 Pro, I mean, both would be ideal, but if I had to pick one, it would have to be the Pro. And that way I can lug it down to here to the studio, shoot, and work with you guys with it some more without having to carry the K2. My K2, I printed my signs with it. So this was, if you guys watched the live stream for the Crowley party, you might have seen this sitting on the Crowley logo. This was done on the K2, and it's really freaking beautiful. I did have problems where it was clogging up and not finishing. It was clogging up, and then I'd have half a print that was half a millimeter thick. Strange stuff like that, or I would assign the colors correctly and they're printing the wrong colors. I don't know, but I did finally get one done, and then I did the rest of mine on P1S. I was doing them on a high combo, and it was jamming all the time, so I abandoned that and went with the P1S to finish it until I could sort that out. But that's all I've done. My K2, my test prints you guys have seen. So it's like an octopus, a dog. Oh, I did the pumpkins and the owls early on when we were testing, and then these signs, and that's all I've done on it so far. Saw my final layers. I mean, layer shifts usually come down to belts. I mean, 99.9 it's belts, because the idea is that, you know, if it's, you got two belts, right, and they're doing a push-pull to get where it needs to be, and if when it pulls there's any slip, right, then the head's not going where the printer thinks it is. And because we're dealing with such precision in order for the print to look right, even a tenth of a millimeter and you've got a layer shift, I would look into getting those belts tightened. I mean, maybe you have already, but it's almost always belts, which is because they're loose and there's a little bit of slack or slip, and the machine thinks the head moved a certain amount and it didn't because of that give. That's all I can think of there. I've never done it, and I've never had a layer shift. Knock on wood, all the testing has been so great for my K2. CFS jams is all I've had. I still feel like it's a belt thing, but you shouldn't have to do it every couple of days. You should have to do it like once. Boy. Yeah, I know. But there's also multiple, if you go to their wiki, there's multiple manual calibrations you can do. There's two screws in the back of the K2 Plus that you can adjust, and then there's ways you can actually take that plate off and do even more. And I think that's more reliable than the automatic. Your videos were a lifesaver and helping me get the best out of them. Oh, thank you, Ben. I appreciate that so much. So if I've helped you a ton, the best way to help me help other people is to put a little star next to your name by becoming a member. Do you know if the tariffs will have an effect on Crowley pricing? No, I don't think so. I do so much color print on Bamboo. I mean, tons. I'm talking thousands of prints. And I've never had an issue with color with layers due to temperature and whatnot. I do knives that's, you know, with pinstriping, little thin pinstripings that are putting PLA between silk silver and ghost face masks with hundreds of changes, different filament, and cosplayers beat the tar out of it. And I do these Uber Jason machetes with a gazillions. I mean, it takes hours and hours and hours and hours and hours in the handle. All this fine, detailed little tiny screws and stuff. I've never had an issue. I really don't think I think it's mechanical. I'm not the end all. I don't pretend to be, but that's me. Do you know if the U.S. tariffs will So here's the thing. It was a topic. It came up. And they were saying like it's like a everyday kind of moving target with pricing right now, which I think is why they were hesitant to discuss pricing on the new K2s right now. They just want to wait a bit and kind of see what's happening. There's a, well, excuse me, there's a bit of like chess going on right now. We'll wait until everybody makes their moves to see what's really happening there with all that. But Creality is a super aggressive when it comes to pricing, and they're super aggressive when it comes to sales and deals and being competitive, and when it comes to taking care of the user. I mean, it's funny that I keep having to say this, but there's a lot of absolute bullshit out there as far as what people say about Creality. And as someone who knows all these companies personally and even spent time with them, literally like yesterday, absolutely no one treats people better than Creality. Content creators, the users, no one cares more than them. They're so hyper focused, it's unreal. And they're not going to let this jack up their prices if they can help it. That's all I've got for you. Russell Thatch, good evening all. Hello friend, how are you? Thank you, Sheer Gal, for the star next to your name. Guys, the star next to your name means you're a member, and it's all a couple of bucks a month. But if you all team up, that it adds up and it helps, and it makes me rely less on affiliate. It makes me rely less on YouTube's AdSense and commercials and all that crap. So it's so helpful. And it gives me a little bit of confidence to sit and record and not worry, what if this video doesn't perform? What's my favorite thing I got? Oh, I told you I was a picture with Zora. That was my favorite thing I got. The Scan Otter is fantastic. Having that's really cool. It's my first. This is the first one. Like, this is it, guys. There is no other Scan Otter light anywhere in the world right now. It's this. So that's pretty neat. And it's pretty neat that they trust me with it. And I don't know that I'm worthy, honestly. I really don't. But they think so. Joy thinks so. And we'll find out, won't we? So I'm just scanning through some of your text here. Let's see it. You have an Otter but never use it. Put it in a box and mail it to 3D Rundown as a donation for content. We are thinking in 4D. Yes, we are. So I do have a secondary account, of course. That's Greg Adventure and Play with Greg, my gaming channel, and my newest channel, 3D Fundown. And I really think we're gonna have a lot of fun on that channel because it allows me just to have fun with you guys and to make stuff, not just test prints and technical crap, but actually make stuff and have fun. And one of the big projects I made on that channel is on its way to China with Zora right now, which is the dinosaur. That is the coolest thing ever. I'm new. Since December, I have had 2 Ender 3 version 2 machines, so all I can do is work on them. Is there a better, newer machine that you guys would recommend so that I can actually make things? So Russell, I learned on the Creality Ender 3 version 2 was my first printer ever. After years of wanting one and not being able to afford one, Creality ran a big sale, and I finally got an Ender 3 version 2, my first printer. It's so special to me, it's still here. And learning how to use that printer, I can't stress enough how important it is and how much better a user it'll make you if you learn the manual tramming and the Z offset and all that crap. But there's never been a better time to get into 3D printing. Creality's new machines are fantastic. I would consider a high combo or a K2 Pro. If you're looking more budget, a K1 or K1 Max. And if it's not one of those, I would look at a Bamboo P1P or P1S or a Bamboo A1. Any one of those models is astronomically better than what you have now. And I fully support all of them. And you can come here and learn how to work with the slicer and how to get things going. So if I had to pick one printer for you, it would be a A1, Bamboo Lab A1, P1S, K1 Max, or one of the new K2s. Literally any one of them. The K2 or the K2 Pro. The Plus is big and complicated. If you're super new, I wouldn't send you to the Plus, honestly. But if you're gonna have only one printer, P1S or A1 probably. But I've made a ton of really great projects on the Crowley machines on my K1 Max. They're really badass for me. K1 Max is one of my all-time favorite printers. We have one kind of like that at work on a robotic arm to check the size and amount of parts. My big sale step up was a K1 Max Black Friday, yeah. Yeah, I love the Max. I don't know what to say. The K1 Max is my favorite single color machine of all time. It's been absolutely phenomenal for my shop. And when printing diagonal, the volume is big. I do a lot of props, a lot of knife blades, things like that, a lot of masks, and it's just so versatile and fast and reliable. I know some people had some K1s that just didn't cooperate, but that has not been my experience, and I'm super, super excited for the new K2s. I didn't work with them yet. I was there for 3 days. The high combos, we had 2 of them running. We had the K2 running and the K2 Pro running. And I mean 8 hours a day for 3 straight days. Not a single jam, not a single clog, not a single error. I mean, they were really badass. So me and my K2 Plus, we've had some issues, but all the work they've done getting the firmware going, getting the updates done, things like that, and just getting the K2 working better, the K2 and the K2 Pro have benefit from that because they're launching with firmware that's much further along than the K2 firmware. Yeah, you're welcome, Russell. I know I gave you an answer that covers several machines, but A1, P1S, K1 Max, K1C, or any K2 would be a really great machine to jump to. I would say look into pricing, availability, and make your decision that way. And when it comes to Creality or Bamboo, you're deciding between Bamboo Studio or Creality Print 6. And a year ago, I would have told you to go with the Bamboo if it's your only printer, specifically for Bamboo Studio. But in the past several months, Creality Print 6 has proven to be quite competent. And to my own surprise, I've been using it for my Creality machines, and I feel comfortable that you can deal with it too. Greg's videos, I've helped get a small printer so and continue running. Oh man. That's so great, bro. I don't even know what to say. But that's so great. That's how I started. I do cosplay and movie props. And I have an Etsy shop, Great Adventure, and an Etsy shop, 3D Fundown. And people just were really kind of blown away by how good my work is. I guess I kind of found out by accident that I'm really good at this stuff. So I started teaching people and decided to take a shot at creating an Udemy course. 3D Rundown, I called it. I just needed a name. Like, what do you call it? 3D what? 3D, I called it 3D Rundown. And one day I had a YouTube channel. It was a Fitness with Greg. And it was just sitting there for years, just abandoned because during COVID, the jerks here in New Jersey shut down gyms. And my private gym was shut down, but they left McDonald's open, you know? So one day I decided, well, what if I upload bits and pieces of the 3D Rundown course to YouTube? I can just switch the fitness channel over to 3D Rundown channel. In hindsight, that was an enormous mistake for many reasons, and I'm still suffering from that, and I should have started a new channel. But I had no idea what would happen. I did that. I started uploading bits and pieces of the course to the YouTube channel, and holy shit, here we are. I went to the Bamboo booth. I got the wireless mouse kit. I got the triple axis Turboloyan. Hey, this thing says there's $0. You guys can like super thank or super chat. I don't know. You should do that. Sounds like fun. I want to see like dollars show up. I got this Marble Run. So that's cool. I'm going to do this kind of stuff on 3D Fundown. I just don't think, I did a survey like fun prints on 3D Rundown or a new channel, and like 3D Rundown won out by like 85%, but I really don't think it's a good fit for just random fun projects in between technical stuff. So I'm gonna try my best to grow 3D Fundown into a fun channel that's all about 3D printing, not like getting into the real nitty details of every single thing we do, but showing fun projects and then printing them and putting them together and demonstrating them without having to teach people like how to slice a file. Like once you already know that, we can move on and just, now what can we make with it? These are Maker Lab if you don't know. So Maker Lab basically gives you the electronics you need for a kit, and then you 3D print the rest and put it together. It's super cool. Yeah, it does, doesn't it? It really does, and that's like trying to get that point across to visitors at the show that all the experience Crowley had with the growing pains of the K2, they were able to put the K2 Plus, we have to be specific now, right? The K2 Plus, they were able to get the K2 and K2 Pro out of the door day one with a lot of that experience behind them. So I think we're gonna see a much more robust launch from the K2 Pro and the small little K2 than we did with the K2 Plus. I don't think. I got some fun hats. I got some fun swag at the TCT show. Prusa gave me this book, which is interesting. It goes over all of their filaments and talks all about Prusa, and it shows you the name of each filament with a QR code to take you to their shop, and then you can see that filament and talks all about how you're supposed to print them and work with them. So some of these pages get into really fun details, and it's an interesting little book. I also got some pretty cool informational sheets about all the different printers and stuff like that, and a lot of swag. Oh, and I got this here. You guys might have heard of this. It's the new BTT Panda Sense. You guys know BQ and BTT, like they can't sleep at night if they didn't release a new accessory, right? Are you weird? No, I guess not. It's all a matter of, do you want the multi-material? Do you want the filament backup? Do you want that easier loading and unloading? If not, then who cares? I don't know how to properly explain to you how beautiful Prusa Galaxy filament is without you seeing it with your own eyes. It's Prusa Galaxy filament is just unbelievable. I put it on my Prusa MK4S and I haven't gotten I couldn't take it off. I kept it there until it was done. So this is the Panda Sense, I guess. I don't, shit. Oh my God, how many parts are in this thing? Where's the camera on this? I'm writing, the camera's on the left side, it's so frustrating. So this is a piece of the Panda Sense. And here is, I guess, the Panda Sense itself. I don't know why it's so dark in here. I got my lights turned down too low. I was also having trouble with them blinding my glasses. Aroma diffuser for your 3D printer. And this. So what I understand is this is supposed to detect the humidity or the temperature inside your printer. It's a duck. All the BTT stuff comes in a duck. Something to that effect. No, they also sent me. So I asked for a Death Racers kit, and they sent me the Panda Edge, which is like a razor scraper instead. I don't know what I'm supposed to do with that. The Panda Sense. I don't know. Here's the QR code if anybody wants to look at it. So yeah, we had fun at Crowdy. The K2s were popular. High was popular. Crowdy booth was really popular, and there just seemed like a good, like a really enthusiastic environment. Oh man, you made my day. Thank you so much. I don't know what more I can say, but you guys with the stars next to your name and got a super thank that get on the Patreon, get on the membership. It helps me so much. I I need it. That's all I can say. I need it to keep my lights on. I need it. I have a ways to go. So thank you, Roshan. Welcome to Sponsor Rundown. So do we have any resin printer users that are on here right now? Any of you guys into resin? Yeah, it does have that DM feature, which is nice. And I'll admit that I'm still kind of navigating Patreon because YouTube gives me a ton of tools to like post things that are members first, and then it goes public or members only. I can do pictures, I can do videos, I can do shorts only for members. I can give you guys custom emojis, custom badges. It's a lot of stuff I haven't done yet that I have to work on, but it's nice that it's all within the YouTube. And then with the Patreon, you know, oh, and I can have, of course, I can post my share folders within that feed and share stuff with you guys. But there's no DMs, there's no file posts. So Patreon has the DMs and the file posting, but it doesn't let you guys, for example, have access to my members only videos that are here or my early release videos that are here. So I'm working on being better at making Patreon worth something to you guys, but please know it's worth something to me. It's so helpful. This channel is really intimidating to run. It's overwhelming and expensive, and I'm super low income and struggling. I never know if the channel's gonna make it, like month to month and year to year. So you guys that support it, it matters a lot. Oh yeah, I really. Hey, your star color just changed. It was light blue and now it's dark blue. That's cool. Um, Hold on, remember. Oh no, Roshan's dark blue. Yours is light blue. It was really, it was a work trip. It was a work trip. It's absolutely critical that I show my face, that I meet with these companies in person, that they understand. Will I have one in, oh, DD? Yes, perhaps. Might be how long, yes, it might be how long. So I just got a message from Dee Dee. You guys don't see that, right? I want to answer her. What time? It's 10 o'clock in China, right? But they're not back in China yet, I don't think. It'd be 10 a.m. if they were. Anyway, whatever she just wrote, she's going to have it. So it's a work. I have to go there. I have to get in front of Bamboo. I have to get in front of FL Sun. I have to get in front of Polymaker. I have to get in front of Elegoo. I have to look my best, sound my best, speak my best, act my best, discuss. Well, they're in China, keep in mind, right? So if it's 10:07 for me here in New Jersey, 10:07 a.m. there. So at 9 a.m., 9 p.m.-ish my time, I start getting like communications from China. Like that's like my regular routine. Is like way late into the night. I start getting messages from them, and it's really tricky. Sometimes I have to stay up, 2 in the morning, to interact with them. And it's an everyday thing. My phone starts to blow up around this time. And I just got a message from Dee Dee. I'm thinking it's probably about the dinosaur. I know she wanted the dinosaur, and I gave it to Zora. I'll see the notification here. You guys don't see this stuff, right? New comment 3 doing, will I have one in the future? Yes, of course you will, Dee Dee. Oh, it is Saturday, right? It's Saturday. So I'm not sure if they're still traveling. Yes. Yes. Yeah. If you want. Polymaker. Oh my God. Hello. Wow, what an honor. What an honor. Hello, Polymaker. Nice to meet you. Welcome to the channel. So we met Polymaker over there, Joel and Nicholas, and they're just such lovely people. And it was just so hard to even talk because you guys are so busy. Hey, Joel. Joel is such a cool guy. He came to the Crowley party. Let me show you guys. I want to show you guys something. I'm over here. Don't go away, Joel. So I'm always looking for projects, and I'm always looking for ways. Yeah. Well, you know that Creality loves to have their goodie bags. That's like their favorite thing. And there's nothing cooler than seeing you guys in person. It's so neat. And we're going to do a lot more in the future. But I do have Polymaker PLA Light here. This is cosplay. So the idea of the Polymaker cosplay is that it's easier to sand. Because, you know, cosplay people are super, super serious when it comes to finishing. And I have this one here, which is their wood PLA. We're going to throw this through some hot ends and see how it does. And work on maybe incense burners, things like that for 3D Fundown. And of course, Polymaker helped me sponsor the auto filament changer video that I did on the 5 Max. And I needed something really big, so they sent me the 3 kilogram. And we used that there, and we used it in my April Fool's video. Joel, if you haven't seen my April Fool's video, you need to check that out. Definitely dry the polywood. Let me see the polywood. All right, this one here. Yeah, if you guys aren't familiar with Polymaker, one of the things that they do really well is you go over to their website and each of their filaments, on the page for their filaments, they have like a whole wiki, like a little wiki, you know, best enclosed, this temperature, please be sure to dry this filament, better with a, you know, 0.4, 0.6 nozzle. So it's more than just the filament. You get knowledge and experience from people who are actually using it and guiding you on how to make it work. You see what you did, Joel? Now you have to talk to Rashan and tell him what's going on. So if you're having trouble with the wood, it's me. I'll be honest with you. I'm a quirky guy. I have a lot of trouble. I have a lot of sinus trouble. I was born this way. I have a real tough time, and I'm always with like a tissue or something. If you guys ever met me in person, you know that. You've seen it. So sometimes I blank my screen and I just, you know, clear myself and whatever. I think when it comes to wood, you want to make sure you're using a better nozzle, like a hardened steel nozzle. Larger diameter nozzles, like a 0.6 as opposed to like a 0.2, for example. Don't do that. Slower printing, and I'm sure that Polymaker has a lot more things they could input. So Joel, are you the guy who handles like the YouTube channel and the Facebook and all that for Polymaker? So when we see your name in social media, is it you or is it like a team of people? So if you're on K2 Plus, you had your stock nozzle is the 0.4 unicorn. Yeah, you know, he did mention that. He's on the Discord a lot. I don't know if you guys ever met Joel in person, but he's such a sweet guy. He really is. He's such a sweet, nice person. Matter of fact, everybody over at Polymaker is. They're a lot of fun. If you ever pop into their booth, they're always all smiles. They have games going. They know what they're talking about. They welcome you. It's really cool. And it's one of the things you learn when you go to these shows, kind of like where you stand with people, where you stand with companies. Um, when I show up to Crowley, they literally like gasp and jump for joy and run and hug me and kiss me, and they treat me like a celebrity, like I'm their family. It's really great. And then some other companies that I've made hundreds of videos for, I walk into their booth and they don't even know who I am, with the exception of my rep. And so that's always a little bit, of a wake up to me of kind of where I'm at and who I need to be sure I take care of. Well, we got something from Polymaker here. 9% of the time interacting with everyone is me. Team of two, okay. So she's the fun, quirky one, and you are the what? Serious one? Come on. No, but that's cool. It's such an honor to have you guys pop into the channel. We're just chatting. I just came back from TCT. Kathy, I think you meant Kathy. Here you go. Okay. I was just like, come on now. Come on. No, you're such a fun guy. Ended up alone for the night, and I just thought it'd be fun just to sit and just decompress and tell stories and talk about TCT and show off some of the toys and the Scan Otter. And I don't think I have anything from Polymaker to show. I was there as a request of Crowley, and I did spend most of my time with them. And they gave me so much crap to bring home. But I've got bamboo stuff, I've got Prusa stuff, I've got... You guys familiar with this? Somebody gave me this. So it's a magazine called 3D Printing Now. And I don't know how to show this on camera, but it's all articles and write-ups about 3D printing. So look at us nerds have our own magazine apparently. And you know what's funny? So I'm sitting there at Crowley, right? I'm kind of struggling. I'm trying to balance being myself, being 3D rundown, being a human being also, of course, Greg, and kind of representing Crowley, So I'm wearing a bunch of hats. And this guy sees me all decked out in my Crowley, and he comes walking over, and he's like, oh, blah, 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 blah. I have no idea what he said. He puts this book in my hand, and next thing you know, he's taking pictures of me. And I'm standing like this, I'm like, and I realized he basically just tried to bait Crowley into promoting this magazine. So I promptly took it to throw it in the garbage. And as I'm throwing it in the garbage, I realized, wait a minute, a 3D printing magazine. That's pretty awesome. So I kept it. It's here. There's a heart button on my phone. What does it do if I push it? Oh, a heart. How come none of you guys have sent hearts to me and all this stuff? Yeah, it's pretty awesome. So it says it's issue number 2, April. So I'm guessing that's 2 for the year. And what's interesting is they have articles that you can read. I'm not going to show them because I just don't know where they're going. But they have articles like, hey, what's a great 3D printer for me? Or how do you choose the right 3D printer? And in that article, they'll have a QR code that you can scan, and it brings it up to a website. But they're talking about how 3D printing is getting into colleges and into campuses, and how it's becoming like a real serious, focus of study. So it's pretty cool. Did it say that? Polymaker, so where are you now? Are you still over in Detroit? Are you home? Where is home? Tell us a little something about like what's next for Polymaker or you, if you don't mind. Really? You know how many people I have that are slightly trollish? You should see some of the comments I get. like on the daily. There's one guy, every single post he posts is like bullshit. Like every day he posts something bullshit. And I'm like, does this guy like me? Is he a fan? Or is he just here to troll me? After like 6 months of it, I'm like, I guess that's just his personality. How do you get fire insurance? Yeah, no shit. I placed my older K1C in my work office, and my coworkers were fascinated. Um, this is funny. So my K1C is right there. This is my K1C. I never built it because they just made the mistake of sending it to me too late. You can see I've got, these are all print beds that I'm preparing to work with. These are all print beds I'm preparing to work with. In this bin are accessories that are queued up to be worked with. You can see I've got some Polymaker here. Polymaker was kind enough to sponsor some projects I'm doing with filament. I definitely need more. I want to work with them more. They're a US company. They're made in the US. I want to support that. This is my Prusa hat. I'm proud to own the Prusa hat. Trying to work more with Prusa. I'm friendly with them, but I don't see it happening. I don't know. Over here is my 5 Max. I absolutely love my 5 Max. There's the LU hat. This over here, this is a queue of parts and things that need to go upstairs. There's some laundry. This is a DJI Neo, some tools. And over here is some bamboo. And this is the bamboo kit for the A2 Pro. The A2 Pro is here with me right now. It's actually at my feet. It's still in the box. So over here is my side light. This is my highlight light. These are my mini guys, my A1 combo. These are studio photo printers. So like when you go to a CVS and you pay to have a photo printed, this is the printer in the machine, right? So it's 8x10, 4x6, inkjet there. And this is where I work. This is my workstation where I do my video editing. Right there, it's got the one vertical. I know my mic, it fell over and broke, and I have it glued in place so the cable works. It's frustrating. I know the lights are making the camera not work very well, but you know, it is what it is. I think Polymaker left us. Yeah, I actually really want the K1C, and I'm disappointed they got to me kind of too late. And I'm really looking forward to getting it together, but I'm so swamped. I mean, over here I've got the X-Tool S1, just waiting patiently for me to learn how to use it and make more content for X-Tool. So like, sending it to me so late, I had to make, it had to sit, because I just had to move on to other things. But it has a lot of updates. The K1 went through a massive growing pains process with a ton of updates, and Crowley just said, you know, fuck it. Let's just put all of these changes into a rebooted K1. Right? Just reboot the K1, make like a K1-2, and that's the K1C. And I have absolutely no doubt that it's an absolute workhorse. Because the K1 Max is. And the K1 Max is loud as hell, and I just don't care. Can you imagine having a K1C for your first printer? Do you imagine? I waited like 10 years to even be able to afford a 3D printer, and it was an Endo 3 version 2. Holy crap. Yeah, I'm sorry you've had some trouble with your K2 Plus. I know there's been some growing pains. I had the K2, so I had the Endo 3 version 2, and I got Anycubic Photon 2K printer, resin. I didn't know the difference. I didn't know what I would handle, what I'd be good at, what I wouldn't be good at. So I went ahead and got one resin and one FDM, and I set them up on the dresser in my daughter's bedroom. That's how this all started, man. There was nowhere else to put it. Okay, I was gonna break into story here. My second printer was a CR10 version 2. Um, 5 Max is bad ass. That's a word I usually say for the K1 Max, but man, the 5 Max is badass. So the 5 Plus is notoriously difficult to work with. I mean, it's a bear to work with, but once you get it going, which took me like a year. I mean, I'm not kidding. I mean, I was terrified of my 5 Plus. It was really hard to work with, and now it's beautiful. Now my 5 Plus works great, but it's a big bear. So the Max is the 5 Plus with all the modern toys, and from box to first print is like 20 minutes. It does up to 700 MMS. It's so fast, it's sick. So I love it to death. Hold on, I have a bunny here I printed with the Max actually. I'm moving a little slow, I'm having trouble with my knees. I did this on the 5 Max. I don't know. There's a little overhang issue here and a little overhang issue here. It's so minor, just I don't know if you can see it, but it's not the Max. It's either the model or my slicing. I'd sized this up. It's supposed to be like this big, so I just sized it up and threw it at the machine. So you can imagine how long this would take to print on like an Endo 3 version 2 or any other of the regular printers. Honestly, even the K1s and stuff. But on the 5 Max, 4 hours. I mean, and its quality is just absolutely unbelievable. It's so clean. I'm an enormous fan of the 5 Max so far. We'll see where, obviously after hundreds of hours, we'll see. But I can't believe how good the 5 Max works. I've had it literally zero trouble so far. And I'm gonna throw some real complex stuff at it. So I'm gonna throw stuff like this at it. I did these on the CRM4, the Creality CRM4, and when I told Creality, the dude literally said to me, "So I can't believe the quality, like the detail and how clean it is." He goes, "Tell me the truth. Tell me the truth. Where did you print it? Like what machine? Tell me the truth. Be honest." Just like one of the heads of Creality, right? One of the heads. Tell me the truth. I said, "You're not gonna believe it." CRM4. He goes, "What?" I said, "CRM4." He said, No, you didn't." I said, "Yes, I did. 96 hours. Print and place. Body. These guys are separate. The legs, arms, lower jaw separate. Eyes are separate. Palate separate. Tongue separate. Toes separate. All of this brown, all this big giant body, all at one time. CRM4. And then this guy too. Same thing. So anyway, I'm gonna throw these at the Max and see if we can do them in like a fraction of the time. And I have no doubt, but we'll do that on 3D Fundown soon. They're amazing. The Patreon or the Cults account is Original Toys 3D. If you go to 3D Fundown, Instagram or YouTube, I got links there. He's got a whole line, and I'm gonna make a whole bunch more. Firefly, nice. Which is why I want to do 3D Fundown, right? I don't always just want to teach, because a lot of you guys, I wind you up and then off you go, and then I'm over here teaching the next batch of people, and now what use do you have for me, right? So I'd like to be able to say, hey, now that you're getting better at printing, check out this awesome dinosaur. Let's make one together. This is where you get it. This is the filament I used. This is the printer I used. That kind of stuff. I want to do stuff like that. So here's the thing, Blaze. You're going to see bad comments about everything. Every printer I've ever used, people shit on it. Literally everyone. All of them. That's 2 G's, Manny. 2 G's. Uh, well, hello, sir. Welcome. Pleasure to see you. If I say, oh, I made this, I made this dinosaur on, the CRM4. Oh, this CRM4 is a piece of shit, right? Or, hold on, I'm getting more toys. Or, oh, I made this owl on the K2 Plus. Oh, the K2 Plus is a piece of shit. Or I made this jiggly little guy on the P1P. Oh, the P1P is a piece of shit. Everything's a piece of shit to everybody, right? This is K2 Plus right here. This K2 Plus. P1, X1C, I think. K1 Max in multi pieces, all pushed together. So anyway, everyone's gonna talk shit about all of it. You have to kind of see through the noise and understand. That's better. That's my man. Now we can be friends. You have to kind of see through the noise and understand that people are gonna just talk trash about everything. So you can read all the shit you hear, and is there a repeating fact? You know what I'm saying? Are you starting to see people saying the same things where maybe you can say, okay, maybe there's some fact to this, or they're just talking shit? Because a lot of these people have no right owning these machines. They don't know what they're doing. They refuse to learn. They refuse to study. And that's why their printers suck. It's because they suck as printer users, right? But so apparently the 5 Max had a problem with, I think, the heated bed that was a fire hazard or something to that effect. And Creality actually pulled it off the market for, I want to say, about a month. And the plan was to obviously change the manufacturing to the new heater or whatever part it needed. And then they took the time to say, let's look over the whole machine and talk to guys like me and whatnot and see if we can make anything else better before we put it back out and start a new manufacturing run. And that's what they did. And Crowley's really, really good about that. If they put out something and then the extruder turns out to suck, like the K1, for example, and everyone's getting mad and like, hey, your extruder kind of sucks, they fix it. They reiterate it. They make a new version and they get it out. And they do it pretty quickly. And they usually do it to no fanfare and no credit because they're just taking a bunch of heat. So me personally, my 5 Max hasn't missed a beat. Not for 1 second. Someone asked me about the K2 Plus extruder, and I'm trying to get a straight answer from Crowley, okay? I'm trying. Because I've been told there's a version 2 extruder for the K2, because if there is, I want it. And I asked my rep to get me one if there is a version 2 so that I could show it to you guys and talk about it. But sometimes the language barrier gets in the way. I'm not 100% certain there's a version 2 or not. But if there is, I'm going to have it as soon as possible for the K2 extruder. And we're going to talk about that. Yeah, I don't have a problem recommending the 5 Max. Believe me, I'll tell you. If I'm not comfortable, I'll tell you. But it's still here in the studio. It's on table B, right? So it's table B right here. This allows me to work on 2 projects at once. And you can see what's on it right now. The 5 Max is on it because I freaking love it. It's so cool and reliable and fast and perfect. And I'm not dealing with extruder jams and the kind of stuff I'm dealing with the K2s and the high combos. It just works. And it's my favorite new printer years at this point. I guess since the K1, since the K1 Max. Because you know the K2, I love it. I do. Shit. I love the K2. Sorry guys, my setup. This was a very impromptu stream, and nothing is professional and set up the way it should be. So I love my K1s. I want to love the high. I want to love the K2. But let's face it, there's been some growing pains, and I had the V3 SE and the V3 KE, and then the CR10 SE, and then the V3, then the V3 Plus. And I was like, guys, what are you doing? Like, why are you releasing so many machines? Like, what is the point? Like, please stop. Give me one V3, or small, big if you want. V3, V3 Plus, right? Not all these V3s. So I got really burnt out and frustrated for a bit. And then the 5 Max showed up. And I was like, yes, girl. Like this is what I'm talking about. Okay? Not 15, enders. This freaking beast. You haven't updated the 5 Plus in like 5 years. This is what we need. I want this, not 10 V3s. So yeah, I'm super excited about their 5 Max. The K2 Giga. Oh man, that sucks. I shot myself with a nozzle last week. Or, maybe it was 2 weeks ago now. I don't know if you guys saw my short on that. I physically turned the Bamboo Lab A1 nozzle into a gun and shot myself. That's what I want. So, Russian, if I'm saying that right, I want you to find me that photo and get it to me, okay? DM it to me, link it to me, email it to me. Find me that photo because I need that extruder. I need that extruder yesterday. I know people want a bigger K2. They want a K2 Giga. I'll be honest with you, I don't see it happening. Creality is really a leader when it comes to large format printing. They have such a history of it. The Ender 3 version 3. No, the Ender 3 Max, sorry. Going way back, the Ender 3 Max. Probably my first favorite printer. The Ender 3 Max was my favorite printer for ages. I have 3 of them here and I don't know what to do because I love them so much. And then they had the CR10 line, and then they had their CRM4, and then they had CR10 Max, CR6 Max. Holy cow. You guys want an awesome printer? Get a CR6 Max. Fan-freaking-tastic. So, under 5 Plus, big bed printers have been kind of Creality's bag. And I feel like they, in the back of their head, someone at Creality wants a really badass big bed color printer. But I haven't seen any evidence that they're making one. Oh, Zora. Oh, Zora. What a beautiful, wonderful person. Unique, special Zora is. What a gem she is for Creality to have. She loved it. I was trying to figure out how do I get this home. There was a girl there who works at the ticket booth. She's a musician and she has like hundreds of thousands of followers. She's a pretty big deal apparently. And she wanted to buy the dinosaur for her nephew. And on the last day I was thinking of surprising her and just giving it to her. Even though it's like 4 days of work, that thing. But I knew she'd love it and probably good for her. But I couldn't get a hold of her on the last day. They had sent her, I guess, home early that day. And Zora saw it and she's like, are you taking it? And I was like, I guess, I don't know. Why, you want it? She says to me, yes, oh my God. So she tells me yes. I'm like, but how will you get it home? I have room. If I don't have room, I'll take my clothes She says, I'll take my clothes off. First off, I had a brain aneurysm. I was like, what, Zora? Like, you'll do what now? Everyone was dying laughing. She meant that she'll take clothes out of her luggage to make room for the dinosaur. But what she said was, I'll take my clothes off. I was like, deal! Take it all! So anyway, she took the dinosaur, and we took some fun pictures together with it. And I'm so excited because, I mean, she's in China and I'm in New Jersey, and to stand in front of her like in person and to see her holding my dinosaur and know she's she said she'll take her clothes off, not out, off. Too funny. It was hilarious. Oh my God, everyone was in tears laughing. So many people heard it. So the fact that she's bringing that back to China with her, it's so cool. And she wanted my t-shirt. I thought about giving her the one off my back, but you know, I figured she deserves a brand new one, even though I only wore it for one day. So we're gonna get her a t-shirt, and she wanted my stickers, and give her some stickers. Are we at war now because I live in Philadelphia for 10 years? So anyway, she loves the dinosaur. I'm so happy she has it. I made two. I made two in a row. I made this one on CRM4. It came so good, I thought I'd make another one for Earth. Not for Earth, geez, not Earth. TCT Rapid. So I did that one. Oh my God, I never glued in the tongue. Not to do that. So I did that and made a second one using Giant Arm Brown, Elegoo Light Brown. I think this is it Bamboo Black? Might be Hyper Black and Hyper Red. And just came out beautiful. So she's got it. But I think Dee Dee wants one. And she just left a comment asking if she'll ever get one. And I can't see what that's about yet, but I have a feeling it's this dinosaur. And yes, she's of course going to get one. $18.96. I was gonna say, are you a fossil now? Or we need to break out the Ouija board to talk to you? So anyway, that's the dinosaur story. I also brought an octopus. Someone stole it like in the first hour, and I brought a like a jiggly turtle. Someone stole that in the first hour too. Anywho, holy cow, 78 minutes. In a few minutes, I'm gonna pop off. But I'm down to chat for a minute or two more about anything about TCT, Rapid, about Creality, about Bamboo, about anything. What do you guys think of Bamboo's, what's it called? Maker block, I want to say, or something to that effect. What's it called? I did the Kickstarter. I actually supported Cyberbrick. I did support the Kickstarter, just because I believe in it and it's so cool. H2D. Okay, so Bamboo. It was very obvious at TCT Rapid that Bamboo is super serious and super invested in the H2D. Because it was so prominently displayed that you could oh fuck that, oh pardon me YouTube, that's a technical term. This is a rated G channel. You have a great night, friend, and it's an honor to have you here. I'm looking over here because that's where I have you guys chat, by the way. So when I look over here, it's like I'm looking at you. I see your icon, I see your chat. So the H2D was there. Big. They had like 6 of them in a circle. It might have been more than 6. They weren't messing around. They were laser cutting. They were laser engraving. They had their air filters running. You couldn't even tell they were laser engraving. That's how good the air filters work. I didn't see a whole lot of 3D printing going on with the H2Ds. I didn't see a whole lot of multicolor stuff being made. For example, Creality was printing repeatedly. They were like model after model after model after model. It was non-stop printing. which was great because it really let their machines speak for themselves, and it gave their machines a good reputation. They did a really great job, and Bamboo, I just didn't see them printing anything. It seemed like they were really heavy into showing the H2D's laser engraving and laser cutting features. Which is odd. I don't know that the average 3D printer user is terribly interested in laser. And I don't know that the average 3D printer user is interested in swapping back and forth and having to worry about cleaning, because we talked about that. Well, what happens when you're laser engraving and all this, dust and smoke and whatever is getting all inside your machine? And he's like, well, you definitely have to clean it. And I'm like, people aren't cleaning their printers properly now. You want to rely on them cleaning them after engraving? It's like, you guys better send me one of these damn things so I can make sure I'm teaching people what to do before your tech support goes crazy. But yeah, I don't know. I do like the two nozzle set. I love the two nozzle setup. I like it a lot. But it's, it's baby. It's every time printers advance, it's like a new innovation, but we're starting back here again, right? So it's this constant 10 steps forward, 8 steps back. Because it's like, ABL and bed leveling and heated chambers and enclosures and auxiliary fans and automatic tramming, all that shit. Like every time a new toy comes out, they're like starting over. So we're in early days, even though there's been Surmoon. Creality has had the dual nozzle for a long time now with the Surmoon, but there's nothing real mainstream yet. This is the first one. Like Bamboo's trying to get this mainstream, and I don't know. We'll see how it performs, and we'll see if we can get to a point where we're using, for example, different size nozzles and stuff. But I think mixing layer heights can be really challenging for the average user and the hardware itself. And I don't like the idea of laser engraving inside a printer. I don't have one. I don't know why. I went to Bamboo. They were very friendly. I kind of made a friend there. Corey was super nice. I met my rep for the first time. I only got to talk to him for a few minutes. He was super, super great to me. Everybody else didn't seem to know who I was at all, which is disappointing. I run a Bamboo course on Udemy. I have over 200 tutorials online for Bamboo. I run Bamboo groups on Reddit, Bamboo groups on Facebook, and they didn't seem to know who I was. So that was frustrating. They did give me a t-shirt, and the two cute girls there took pictures with me. They were nice. That was cool. But they just didn't know who I was. And literally every single person at Creality, which is like a staff of over 20 people there, they all knew who I was. I mean, everything about me. They were huge fans. And it was super touching. But it woke me up a little bit as far as who appreciates what I do for them and who's willing to support me as a creator and help keep 3D Rundown afloat. And I have a lot of respect for Creality for that. Yeah. I'm trying to work more with Prusa, and I just don't know. So anyway, I was told that I should reach out to my rep with a project, something that requires a larger build volume and color, and we'll see about getting an H2D over here. I'm somewhat disappointed with that because I don't really need a project. My channel isn't about like, look at the jiggly dragon. My channel is about teaching and helping you guys get things set up properly, using things properly, and helping the company get less returns and less tech support, right? But this is why I realized it's time for me to open 3D Fun down, because, I'm getting stomped by guys who literally their whole channel is, so I made a cool owl, and I made a fun dragon, and oh my god, look at this little cute heart teddy bear. 9 billion views. So if that's what they want me to do, they want me to make a big, colorful project, and that's what gets an H2D here in the studio, I'll do it. So I'm gonna talk to them soon and see if I can get one over here. But I do have right here, this is the AMS2 Pro. and I have the kit, so I can add it to the P1P, P1S, X1C. I have the kit over there. And we're gonna get this installed on one of those machines soon and see how it works. Loop. I don't know. Let's face it, right? That's one of the next frontiers of 3D printing. We have to get to a point where we're not just throwing, as makers, as creators, ass tons of filament into the garbage, right? We're not just throwing ass tons of filament into the garbage just day after day. Wasting it, honestly, just wasting it. We need to get to a point where we can take that filament and turn it back into more filament. And maybe one day it'll be like, hey, you guys remember when we used to just throw all of our poop away, right? Maybe we'll get there. Thanks, appreciate you. For what? I don't know. Random message. But I don't know if it... Oh, don't retract messages. I want to know what you wrote. Manny retracted a message. Yeah. I've been meaning to reach out to them. I just haven't had the time. Keeping up with all these companies and all my comments and posts and DMs and emails and whatnot from you guys and everybody else, and it's almost a job in itself. I open my eyes in the morning, and I'm responding. I'm in bed at night, like it's 2 in the morning. I'm like half asleep. I'm like, so it's only so much I can handle. So I haven't wrote to them, but there are definitely people that don't believe it to be a thing that's going to happen. I really don't know. Well, I mean, I am an influencer, right? I mean, let's be honest, right? I mean, I'm a teacher, I guess, right? I consider myself a teacher, but to me, I'm an entertainer, right? That's the love of my life, right? I love to teach people. I love to help people. I love to entertain people. I love to make people laugh. Even as a pro wrestler for 20 years, that was my favorite thing. Just make people laugh, have a good time. So kind of mixing that all up. But ultimately, at the end of the day, you know, I do influence decisions you guys make. If you click on my affiliate link, you buy something, I make a little money. It's only pennies, right? But hundreds of people a month do it. It adds up. And without that, this channel couldn't afford to exist. I'm going to be honest with you, it barely affords to exist now. So it's very important that I do come up with ways to make content that is fun, and to make content that, you know, shows off products that are good and that can influence people to buy them, right? Now, there has to be morals there. I would never want to influence you to buy something that sucks, but if I can make a print that's great like this and show you guys, hey, look how cool this is. This Elegoo brown, this bamboo black. You know, this is printed on the Bamboo Lab P1S. It's a really freaking great printer. This actually was the K2 Plus though, right? This is the K2 Plus. This is the K2 Plus. This is the K2 Plus, right? So, hey, it's good. And if you're gonna buy one, please buy it through my link. And that's what an influencer does. And they're not doing it because they're greedy and they want, you know, your money, but they're doing it because they have to get paid. It's their job. Like if you go flip burgers at McDonald's, if you don't get paid, you can't go to McDonald's every day and flip burgers, because how would you afford it? So I can't run this channel if I can't pay my electric bill, if I can't, you know, buy the cameras and the memory cards and the microphones and the computers and the monitors and the filaments and the desks and just everything. And if I can't afford to spend 8 hours filming an unboxing video, or 9 hours shooting a Creality Print 6 tutorial, and then 4 hours editing it, and you know, then the comments every day. If I can't make any money off of all that, then I have to go do something else instead, because I'll be homeless. I won't be able to pay my bills, right? I have to do Instacart or DoorDash or personal training or McDonald's or something. So yeah, I mean, we're all an influencer to some degree, and I know sometimes it's a dirty word, but it's a job and a business, and if we take it any other way, then we go away. But yeah, teaching you guys and tutorials and whatnot is where I'm at, and it's where I'm going to stay. And that's why I opened 3D Fun Down, so I can play a little bit and make some fun stuff and not have people be like turned off by it, because that's not why they came here, right? So I'm gonna keep that somewhere else. Send me some, I would love you guys to send me shit. That'd be so cool. Thank you, my friend. 360 Dixon Designs. Thank you, I appreciate it. I just think I have a special way of teaching. I've spent many years as a personal trainer. I've been a professional wrestling trainer. I spent 20 years as an IT person, as a network administrator. So teaching has been a huge part of my life, and I'm kind of super excited that I found a place to do it here in 3D printing. Oh, thank you. Oh my God, that's my first like live chat tip like ever. I can't even tell you how much. Like, for example, even sitting here having this chat, you know, for 92 minutes, how often can you do it without making money, right? After a while, well, I'd have to do something else because I need money to pay bills like everybody else, and to eat and to live comfortably. So that's why you see your favorite YouTubers doing everything they can to make a buck. It's just, that's our job. We have no choice. And that's why so many YouTubers go away, is they never find the way to stay true to who they are, make the content they want, and they never find a way to monetize properly. And eventually the reality is they're not making enough money and they have to leave their channel. That's why Play with Greg isn't a thing anymore. It grew to a point where it was too big and I couldn't afford to continue running it. It's an odd problem to have, but that's what happened and I shut it down. Anywho, no worries. We will be doing, yeah, I was a pro wrestler for like 23 years. I've wrestled thousands of times. I know and knew everybody in the business. And it was great. And if I could do it tomorrow, I would. But I am old and broken. Starships like I read. Yeah, sure, man. Send me stuff. Send me stuff. Sorry, doing this with my phone and misspelled my fat thumbs. Oh my God, oh my God, it's the same problem. I can't type on my phone to save my life. I just got my AMS2 Pro, but it was delivered with a hole. Oh no, did you say a hole like it's broken? Like how so? 9 likes, $4.99 in supers, and 16 people watching. And we're approaching 100 minutes. That's kind of 100 minutes. Oh my God, you guys are still with me? That's pretty cool. You know, I used to have a gaming channel. It's called Play with Greg. And we did live streaming like almost every day. It was for like 2+ years. It was really cool. And there's a possibility I might resurrect it in some degree. We'll see. There's a couple of things being discussed between me and somebody else, and we'll see what happens. But how do I respond to this? The time to reply to this super chat has expired. Anyway, if you like 3D Rundown and you want to keep me here, super chats and super thanks and affiliate link clicking, being a member and a Patreon, super helpful. So thanks to all you guys with the stars. Yes, shipping issues has been a problem for years. And what happens is they're traveling from a warehouse in China to trucks and oh, Jesus. That's too funny. Oh, I thought even the machine had a hole. Oh my God. I used to hang out like with like the Rocks family, like all like the Alpha and Sika and Rikishi before it was Rikishi, and Roman Reigns was my ring setup guy before he was Roman Reigns. He was young when I was running my own federation. And I used to know Jimmy Snuka. I helped train Jimmy Snuka's son, and I used to go to his house, and it would like reek of weed, and oh my God, I got stories I could tell you guys. Oh my God. But yeah, so anyway, they go from warehouse in China, right? Packed up, whatever. Then they're shipped. And then they're put in like a boat. And then, yeah, Sunny, like you remember Tammy, she's in jail now, I think, right? Her and Doink the Clown and all those guys. It was really crazy. I went to Yokozuna's memorial dinner with his family, and we had a special like private memorial show. They literally put a ring together, and it was like all friends and family. And Undertaker and Kane did a tag match against the APA, and they were drunk, and it was so embarrassing and so bad. But you never seen anything like watching Undertaker and Kane wrestle Ron Simmons and Bradshaw in like a room the size of your house. Like it was so ridiculous. But anyway, so yeah, so they get in the boat, and then the boat's here, and then here the UPS and the DHL, whatever, and then everything's just vibrating, and all the screws come loose, and then people just throw them on a desk, send Iron Man at it. Oh, 97-hour print, 400 filament changes, right? And then, oh no, blob of death. Well, you didn't do anything. Like you didn't check the nozzle, you didn't check the hot end, you didn't check the belt, you didn't check all those little screws that can vibrate loose from being abused in the shipping, and that's what happens. But Creality's learned a thing or two, and they packed the K2 Plus like to survive a bomb shelter. I couldn't even figure out how I was going to get it into my studio. It was so big and heavy. If I'm Max shipping. All right, so I talked to, hello Lisa, UK girl. I talked to my friends at Crowdy this weekend about it, and we didn't get very far. I wish we had more time to talk about it. They work so hard. It's such a feverish pace. The staff, the whole staff is always on the go. Working, right? They're always, yes, please. I always say, like, you build your printer, not China, right? Don't let China build your printer. You build it. And I'm saying they have a QC process. They build them. There's a whole warehouse. Don't believe all this. Oh, there's no quality control. Yes, there is. But still, you build it, not them. And then on top of that, they build it. And then it's all that vibrating and shipping and bouncing around we talked about, right? And then you. So there's a lot of room for error between all that. My X1C is a pain in the ass. My X1C has never behaved well. It's always something. I don't know why, but it's a total dud. What was the point? Oh, so I asked them about the 5 Max because I showed them this past month the #2 search bringing people to my channel is Ender 5 Max. And I think she was surprised by that. So it's like, it's not high combo, it's not K2 Plus, Ender 5, well, I think it actually was like high combo, Ender 5 Max and K2 or something to that effect. But #2 was Ender 5 Max, who would think, right? And she was like, well, she told me something about the warehouse and the manufacturing process having been like restarted. I didn't totally follow what she was saying, and then we got pulled away. Because when I talk with them, because of the language barrier, their English is impressive, right? Their English, all of them is impressive. But it's not perfect. So you'll have a conversation, and then there'll be these sticking points, right? Where there's like a little trouble getting the point across. And that kind of happened, and then we got distracted and never got back to it. But the idea is, I think, they did take the time to replace whatever was wrong with the heated bed. They took time to once over the whole machine. So it was paused for like a good month, and then they start manufacturing again, and I believe that's where we're at now, is the manufacturing is again. And she was saying something to the effect that there's like a delay, right? You start the manufacturing process, but there's all these steps and all this time before it's, there's enough of them made and ready to actually be like, okay, it's for sale again, and we have enough to ship you. It takes time. So I think that's where we're at, and I'll just keep an eye on the 5 Max. I do think we're going to see it back in our houses soon. I found your channel for the E5 Max, and you sold me an Infinity Flow. I like the Infinity Flow. I don't love it, but I like it, and amazed actually. My affiliate link for that did really well. And I'm happy because doing the tutorial was complicated. Getting all the shots of how everything works was really hard. And I screwed things up a few times. I had to redo entire segments because the timing was off. I didn't have the camera right, and it was tricky. But it's such a cool device, and I've written a lot to the guy who makes it because it needs some features, right? It's missing a feature or two that are really important for situations that may occur that he may not have realized. So I wrote for him to that, and they're taking them into effect. And I think we're going to see some revisions for it. And the good thing is, because a lot of it's 3D printable, we'll be able to 3D print those revisions and then maybe just have them send us out like a small kit with an additional sensor or switch or button. And I do know that they're working on a couple revisions specifically on my recommendation for me, and I know they're working on like a version 2 as well. So keep your eyes peeled on the Infinity Flow. It's a really interesting product. Yeah, of all the new machines in recent times, I really can't think of one that's more exciting than the 5 Max because it's so big and so stable and so fast, and it's running the Nebula pad, and it's just working. Period. I'm super excited for the 5 Max to be here and for people to get their hands on it and to make just really big things fast, like fast. Anywho, guys, I'm on for an hour and 2 minutes. I think it's time to pop off. 19 viewers right now. That's pretty cool. So real quick before I go, yeah, they had yeah, the 5 Max comes stock with the Nebula pad installed. That's what it's running. It's Clipper. It's built in. It's the Nebula pad. So Crowley did a really nice job getting the Nebula pad to across all their new machines and having parity with their interface and their tablet, which is something that in the past, like every machine was like a different interface, a different tablet, it was a pain. So things are better now. I'm running the Nebula camera on my 5 Max, and I did ask them if they will please consider like an all-in, balls to the wall, badass time-lapse camera, something new and exciting that really kicks ass, thoroughly tested and working. We'll see what happens, but for now, the Nebula is where they're at. The email is in my bio, I think. It's greg@adventure.com. Of course, you could DM me on Facebook and Instagram also, but you can email me there. I'd love to see that extruder. I want to send it over to Crowley. There's been some confusion on this. I want to make sure if they have this new video that I get it. I just got a notification from 3D Fundown that says more people are watching your shorts. Well, that's cool. Nebula camera has been out for over a year, but I agree it's very high quality. Yeah, it's I don't love it. I don't love it. It has firmware problems. It has night mode problems that they have tried to fix with firmware. You're welcome, man. Thank you for your time. This is our time, right? Everything this channel has done. I just hit 5 million views on this channel, and it's 5 million real actual people choosing to watch my stuff. And without you guys, then none of this exists. So it's all of us together. And thanks for being here, and thanks for making it possible for me to do what I do by being here. So the Nebula camera will go into night mode when it shouldn't, and you end up with a black and white video, which is annoying. It wants more light. But when it does work properly, it does have focus, it does pan and tilt, the quality is pretty darn good, it's lightweight, it's small, it's USB, it's not bad. But I do think they can do better. I'm talking like 4K, multiple mounts, maybe even motorized where we can pan and tilt remotely from our app. Maybe optical zoom, digital zoom, I don't know. I want a badass 3D printing camera that we can use on any of their machines that support the Nebula pad and Clipper or the Sonic pad, and I want it to work. Oh my God, the Space Pie X4. Hi Corey, how are you? The Space Pie X4 is so cool. They didn't send me one. Honestly, I was disappointed when I realized that they've been hiding the K2 and the Pro and didn't send me either one. And they've been hiding the Pi X4 and didn't send me either one. In the past, I would have gotten them right away. And my newer rep does things a little differently. Sometimes she makes me, it kind of seems like sometimes she waits till I ask, and sometimes she sends me things. Where it used to be like everything just came. So I'm gonna have to reach out to them and get this X4 on hand stat. But I'm also looking to get a Raptor, not a Raptor. I'm also looking to get a Falcon, and I'm also looking to get their resin X1 printer. So there's a lot going on. We have to kind of balance things a bit. But that dryer, so it's got 2x2, right? So there's two sets of rollers with independent doors, and then there's silica underneath, and then there's an exhaust fan on the back of each one. Each section has an exhaust fan, and then there's PTFE outputs, so there's two, one behind each roll. So you could output each roll at its own PTF. In theory, you could feed from the dryer to 4 machines. Now, I use my Space Pi to feed to bamboo printers, and to feed to my K1 printer, and to feed to my Prusa print. Like, I move my Space Pi around sometimes. And to be able to put one in a central spot and feed to 4 single color machines, that's pretty badass. And I don't know anyone who's touching this thing right now. It's really cool. I think you guys are gonna like it. I don't think it's for everyone, but it's really cool. The Falcon's nice. I talked to Xtool. I talked to Xtool at TCT, and I talked to some laser guys, and I know they talked about the older Crowley laser scanners, and they didn't love them, and blah, blah, blah. But I watched the Falcon just burn and cut for 3 days, and they had their little filter, and the filter is like this big. Bamboo's filter is like this giant box. The Falcon's filter, the new one, is like this little thing. No smoke, no smell, no nothing. It was cutting, it was burning. It did a really good job. And I talked to them, and we're gonna try to get one over here so we can check it out. Keep up the great work and what you do. Thank you, Corey, man. I appreciate having you here. Consider, I want to help you guys. Consider helping me help others. Consider helping me afford to sit here for the hours it takes by using your super thanks button, by maybe being a member, even if it's temporary. Anytime you can just kick a couple bucks to the channel, put a star next to your name. It's super helpful. Or of course, just using the affiliate link when you buy stuff. Anything. If you're buying tampons, click on the Amazon link, buy tampons. It helps me. It doesn't matter what you buy as long as you enter the store with my link. So if you guys think of that, come back to the channel, click a link, go to Crowley, click a link, go to Elegoo, click a link, go to Amazon. It helps. But I plan to be here as long as you guys want me to be here. Have a good weekend, brother. I will be in the eyes for more videos. Oh, by the way, this is Manny with the Family 3D Biz. Hey, we gotta buy girly products too, and some of my viewers are girls, and that's one of the things I'm trying to work on. My channel's viewership is like 6% girls, 94% men. I'm trying to think of ways to welcome more females into the business. I may even have a human being I'm trying to get to help me do that, but it's been difficult to communicate. After all, she is female. Just kidding, ladies. Well, keep in mind, all you have to do is click on Amazon, and then in there, find the tampons and buy them, and I get affiliate money for that. So there you go. Welcome, Manny. Good luck to your family 3D Biz. That's super cool. I know quite a few people got started through my channel and now run like little shops and businesses, and I don't have the words to explain like how cool that is to me. It's awesome. So I'm so happy to help you guys do that, and for all of us to live our dreams as makers. Anyway, it's tired. It's late. I've had a really long week. I'm super tired. It's 11:15. I've been on for an hour. Let's see, 109 minutes. So just shy of 2 hours, and I can feel my brain slowing down. But I appreciate you guys, and I appreciate you using my tampon link. And unless you guys have anything else to hit me with, I think we'll say good night. Good night, Corey. Love you guys. You guys are the best.